Hello, my name is Mr. Polk and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'd like to share with you probably one of my personal favorite chicken dishes, and that is chicken francaise, and we're going to pair that with a lemon beurre blanc sauce. And I just love the francaise process. What we're going to do is we're going to dredge it in the flour, run it through the egg mixture, and then we're going to saute it like that. So sometimes people kind of compare it to like they call like a French toast chicken. But I really enjoy it. I love the texture you get from the francaise, from that egg cooking on the outside. So let's go ahead and get started. So to get started, we're just going to take our chicken breast, pound it flat, cut it into our small cutlet pieces. And then we want to take our saute pan, get it hot. We don't want it to get to a smoke point, but we want the oil to be hot so that when the chicken goes in, it does start to cook right away. It'll do that, what I like to call the sizzle sazzle. And what's important here is we have our seasoned flour, okay, seasoned with a little bit of the Montreal seasoning. And then we have our eggs. The eggs are, for every egg, we do a tablespoon of milk. And then we also put in a little bit of salt and pepper. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do the dry first. So we'll go in really nice. All right. Go over, get it all covered in the flour. And then this is what's opposite, is it's going to go in the flour, then into the egg, which is normal, but then it won't go into another step. So then we'll take this, we'll put it in, flip it over, make sure we get all nice and egg. And the other thing is, try to, remember I always call it the factory side, the side where the skin was. That's what we want to put down first. And then I make sure that I have oil coated in the pan, let some of the egg drip off so we don't make a huge mess. And then, see how that's sizzling right away? We know we're good. So we can lay that down. You don't want to lay it down into the cold oil. All right, and we'll take the other piece, same thing. We'll do the flour, do some more flour on that for the francaise. Then we'll go ahead and go in the egg. So we'll go in the one side, do the wet hand, and to the other side. And remember, I always like to put the skin side down, on the factory edge as I call it, and then we'll go ahead and put that into our pan. Now I do have a good bit of oil on the bottom so that it can float a little bit and just cook beautifully for us. Okay, so you can see that the chicken is starting to cook here. I'm going to put a sheet tray down. The chicken's starting to cook, and here's what you want to do. We'll take our fish turner, and we're just really looking for beautiful golden brown color. I'm going to get underneath this guy with the fish turner and give it a gentle little flip. Oh, beautiful. Okay, and the same thing with the other side. And the thing with the francaise is we're looking for this beautiful color. So we're not necessarily getting it cooked right now. I'm not going to be too concerned with getting it to the 165 at this point. What we're going to go ahead and do is get it in the oven, and then we'll finish it in the oven to 165. And you can, if you want to go slow with it, you can take it right to 165 right away. This is a great dish that you could do it ahead of time. You could go ahead and do the francaise part, set it up on sheet trays, and then when you're ready, all right, then it can go into the oven. And you want to make sure you have that nice oil coating on the bottom. You don't need it too much, but you definitely don't want it to stick. You want to get that beautiful color. Oh, that's looking beautiful. So I'm actually going to go ahead and flip him around one more time. That's looking beautiful on that side. And then we'll do the same thing on this side, just to give it just a touch more color. All right, this is great. And again, it's that color, it's that texture. It's really what I like to look for in the francaise. And if you've never had it before, it's definitely a really nice dish. It does taste different than just the flour dredging. Okay, look at that. So what I'm going to do now is take these out like this. Turn my heat down, actually off. I'm going to take them off and I'm going to put them on a sheet tray. Then I'm going to go ahead and put them in an oven, about 350. And then what I'm going to do is finish those off until they're 165 on the inside. Then in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and make the lemon beurre blanc sauce. So we're going to start the beurre blanc sauce for the chicken francaise. And what I did here is I used some of the butter and I started melting it, and then I added the shallots. I'm just trying to sweat them out. And once I have them sweated out, then I'm going to put in the chicken stock, okay, 2 ounces. And then I'm going to put in a little bit of the heavy cream. And then what we want to do is we want to let that reduce a little bit. Okay, so I'll give it a stir. We want to let that come to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, take it to a simmer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add the butter a little bit at a time and try to whisk it in and create the beurre blanc sauce. So now that it's reduced and we got it down to a simmer, what you're going to do is you're going to put in a couple chunks of the butter. So we have it in really small chunks. And then you're going to whisk. And what's going to happen is you're going to try to make an emulsion of the butter as it starts to melt. So that's why you need to do this slowly. So I went ahead and put in the first chunk. All right, we'll put in a couple more chunks. You're going to see that the sauce is going to start to thicken up. And that's what's going to make this really nice beurre blanc sauce. And a chicken francaise classically uses a lemon beurre blanc. So as we get to the end, we'll add some fresh lemon zest to it to really give it the flavor. So you're going to keep stirring and adding the butter and trying to get it to thicken and emulsify. So you're going to continue to add all of the butter. So I've just finished whisking in the last of the butter, and you got to do it slow. It takes time, but you're going to notice that the sauce really starts to thicken up, and it's because we're emulsifying. We're emulsifying that melted butter right into the sauce and just giving it a good flavor and a good thickness. And then a good beurre blanc sauce, we're going to make a lemon beurre blanc, so we're just going to add a little bit of lemon zest. We're just going to take fresh lemon and our micro plane here, and we're just going to go right over top, and we're just going to get some lemon zest right in there and then stir it up and give it some really nice flavor. All right, and there you can see things are really coming together, and look at that. That makes a really creamy sauce, a really nice texture, and it's all because of the fact that we started with the shallots, put in the cream and the chicken stock, and then slowly whisked in that butter a couple chunks at a time. And that's how you make your beurre blanc sauce for your chicken francaise. Okay, so our francaise has just come out of the oven. Again, if your pieces are small and you're cooking it slow, you can cook at the temp, but I like to just focus on the color and then finish in the oven. And again, you can plate this obviously with your sides. In class, you'll be making different vegetables and different starches to go with it. I'm just going to plate it right in the center of the plate. And then, as you saw making the beurre blanc sauce, again, it gets a really nice thickness to it. And again, it's just by taking time to whisk the butter as it melts into the sauce. And you get a really nice flavor out of the shallots. So I'm going to go ahead and put some right over top of the chicken. And then I'll just do a little drizzle around the edges there, just because it is a really nice sauce. And that really goes well with the francaise. A classic lemon beurre blanc sauce is the classic pairing for a chicken francaise, but you can get creative and mix it up and do what you like. But this is the classic pairing, and it just smells so good, and I can't wait to dig into it. So again, this is a real favorite dish of mine, the francaise. And again, you can do all different. Sometimes I do like a seafood mixture with this, a little bit of the shrimp and some crab with it. And then make like a sauce that has that flavor as well. But the idea is you just start with your chicken, you put it in the flour, then you put it into the egg, and then you saute it on both sides, almost like a French toast, right? And then cook it in the oven until it's beautiful temp, beautiful color, and then serve it with your choice of sauce. So I can't wait to cook with you real soon right here in Mr. Polk's kitchen.